Thomas Dagla in London. Well, let's hear now from each side in this debate, beginning with Mike Galsworthy, founder of Scientists for EU. And Mike, what is it from a science perspective that leads you to campaign for the Remain side?
Well, science is all about international collaboration, and the EU works really well for that. So whether you're talking about sharing infrastructure, or pooling funding together, or sharing policy together, or the freedom of movement, it all works for science. It all delivers added value. I mean, it lowers the barriers to our collaboration across the countries, and it brings real added value, as in international research delivers 40% more impact than domestic-only research. So it's about working together and getting more out. And that in turn is important, of course, for health, for innovation, for growth and jobs, solving environmental challenges, all of these things.
But when I think of science, and particularly scientists at the school that you're at now, the School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine in London, you're used to dealing with people from all around the world without the kind of community of the European Union. So surely, even if Britain were to leave, you could still do lots of collaboration with people in continental Europe.
Well, there's a difference between bilateral collaboration and multilateral. And the thing about the EU framework is it's 28 countries together and then some associated countries. So what you can do is you can pick and mix big multinational collaborations to really solve world challenges, including right around the world. Now, the last big EU science program included 170 countries around the world. So the EU isn't locked off in one little corner. Rather, the science program is a big platform for us to have that global reach. And in fact, America and China and the other big countries like working with the EU science programs because you've already got that seed of big multinational projects through it.
More broadly, as you've watched this debate unfold, how do you feel about the tone of the debate?
Nervous. I mean, as a scientist, we like to have good, level-headed, rational debate. And there's a group called Scientists for Britain as well, and we get on well with them, we have jokes with them, we have drinks with them. Whenever we have the debates, it's all good and wholesome and informative. Whereas if we look at what's going on at the national level at the moment, it's very much focused on politicians, the Conservative Party falling apart and bickering with itself. The other parties are all scrambling to get attention to, and it centres around a soap opera of key politicians. And I and many other people like me think that this has been a huge disservice to the national debate. This is a referendum debate. It should be about the breadth and width of our society, all communicating our experiences and what we want. But instead, what we've had is, like I said, a little soap opera around some personalities, and a lot of the public still at this stage are about to go and vote, but they feel uninformed.
Beyond whatever the result is on Thursday night or early Friday morning, whenever we learn what the result is, but beyond the actual result, how do you think this whole process will leave the United Kingdom?
Very divided. It has really changed the political and cultural landscape in our country hugely in a very short space of time. So it's anyone's guess as to how it's going to pan out from here. Because if it's a narrow win for Remain, there's still all of those people who are very fired up for leave, and they're not going to go away, and they're not going to drop what they believe just overnight. And similarly, if it's a narrow win for the Brexit campaign for leaving, well, the majority of our MPs, our parliamentarians, don't want to leave. You've got something of a constitutional crisis, and you've got plenty of companies and scientists who will be absolutely distraught and left in confusion as to what to do now, because there is no plan going forward if we vote to leave. So either way, unfortunately, it's going to get fairly acrimonious and keep going like that.
Mike Galsworthy, really nice speaking with you this evening. Thank you.
Thanks.